All right. Hello, everyone. I can already see people are hopping on. Hello, hello. Welcome. Hello, everyone. Welcome on. As everyone is starting to trickle in and hop on, I would love for you all to go ahead and start to pop in the chat. I would love to know where you're watching from. So go ahead and tell us your name, where you're watching from. And as you're hopping on, I would love for you all to also go ahead and start to read some of these housekeeping things we have up on this slide. It will have some important information about this workshop, so make sure we're looking at this slide as you're hopping in. Hello, Sharon, Annie, Danielle, Monet, hello. Welcome everyone, happy Tuesday. I almost said Thursday because we had our last hourly workshop on a Thursday. It's most definitely not Thursday. It is a Tuesday today. So happy Tuesday, everyone. Hello. Hi, Maddie. Oh, I have one of my team members on here. She's amazing. Hi, Maddie. And while everyone's hopping on, I would love for you all to go ahead and start to read through some of the things we have up on this slide. I'm going to actually start to read through them now so that we can dive into the content right away, just because I want to be respectful of your time. So just so everyone knows, this is a Zoom webinar. And what that means is that we won't be able to see or hear your video at all during this call. So we won't be able to see or hear you. And all of our workshops are being recorded. We will be sharing them on one of our social media platforms at a later date. More than likely, it's going to be probably YouTube. So make sure to be subscribed to our YouTube channel so that you can see these videos if you hop in late or want to rewatch any of the other ones that we've done. If you need closed captioning, you can go ahead and press the CC located on the bottom black bar of your screen. It will enable a live transcript to pop up at the bottom of your screen throughout the entire workshop. And if you have any questions or comments during the workshop, please feel free to pop them into the chat. And that's also, the chat button is located on the bottom black bar of your screen. And make sure as you're typing in the chat, there's a little drop down blue button. It will say panelists or attendees. So make sure you add it to panelists and attendees, just so that everybody in the workshop can see the comments and the questions that you're putting in there. So make sure to go ahead and do that. And last but not least, any and all Zoom tech questions or support questions, if you're having problems at all while you're watching this, please go ahead and use the link below. And I love that I can see all the people trickling in. Awesome. Hello, Christy, Mary Lou, Taylor. We're going to give it probably one more minute and I'm going to start to dive into the content right away. So exciting. Hello. Hi, Taylor. Oh, we have Taylor Jackson from Taylor, Illinois. That's cool. Awesome. Okay. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and let's dive in, just because I want to be respectful of your time and I appreciate y'all hopping in here. I really hope, wait, hold on one second. Did I pull up the wrong workshop, horizontal? This is not the horizontal workshop. This is the hourly workshop. So sorry, we just have a typo on that first screen, so apologies there, but this is most definitely the hourly workshop. And before we dive into kind of why we're here and what we are going to be covering, I'm just going to do a quick little introduction, and I do have a fantastic co-host who will be doing this with me tonight. So my name is Michaela Vardalakis, and I am our store manager at our beautiful store in Irvine, California. I also develop and I facilitate a lot of these virtual workshops. So you may or may not have seen me on a few virtual workshops in the past. And I'm actually at our Virginia store in Fairfax right now. So I've been having so much fun seeing this store and hanging out with this team here. But I do have a fantastic co-host who will be joining me tonight, and she uses the Hourly Planner, and that's why I thought she would be the perfect person to bring in and talk about all things hourly planning. So Karen, I'm going to go ahead and pass the mic to you.
Hello, everybody. And I love that Michaela and I were twinning today. That was absolutely not planned, but it's a good sunny color for a hot day. I'm in Austin, Texas. My name is Karen Artabassi, and I am the Director of Retail Stores for Erin Condren. I have been with the brand for about 5 years. It'll be 5 years in about a week or so. And I had the pleasure of being able to start with Erin Condren before we opened our first retail store. And I oversee our retail division. So when Michaela says I'm an hourly planner, like, she's not lying. This is my planner stack. These are all my hourly planners. They go back 5 or 6 years. So I have been strictly hourly for the entire time I've used an EC planner and worked for EC. So we've got lots of fun tips and tricks for you.
Yay, thank you so much, Karen. And we will be really just kind of co-hosting, collaborating with this workshop tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and do the first part, and then we're going to have Karen talk about all things hourly life planners after I kind of get through the beginning monthly spreads. But let's first talk about why are we all here? So we are here to provide tips and tricks on how to set up your life planner. You will see examples of how to use your planner in a fun and sustainable way. And what are we going to be covering today? So we are going to be covering how to use your yearly planning pages. Those are the 12 boxes in the beginning of your planner. We will be going over some monthly layout examples, monthly planning page ideas, how to use the notes pages, weekly spread examples, color coding tips, how to use stickers, and we will be doing a live Q&A at the very end. Now, icebreakers. I love a good icebreaker, and I forgot to tell y'all, but I have a background in teaching. So I got my master's in teaching. I used to teach first, second, and fifth grade. So I love a good icebreaker. So I'm actually going to go ahead and launch a poll, and I just want to get to know all of you. Whoops, relaunch. There we go. Okay, now it should be working and it should pop up on your screen, but I would love for you all to go ahead and tell me, are you team colorful or team neutral? What planner theme did you get this year? Did you get mid-century circles, flora, just my type colorful, or just my type neutral? And I would also love to know, just where are you at in your planning journey? Are you brand new to planning and using a paper planner? Maybe this is your first planner this year. Are you fairly new to planning, or are you a seasoned planner and this is not your first rodeo? So I would just love for you all to go ahead and start voting on that live poll, just so I can get to know you all a little bit more. Ooh, this is interesting. Karen, this is so cool. So we have team colorful at 67%, team neutral at 33%, which is a little bit higher than the one we did last night. And as far as planner themes go, we have flora winning tonight at 37%, mid-century circles, 32% of you, just my type colorful, 14%, and just my type neutral, 17%. Interesting. This is so cool. And we have 12 people on the call tonight, 17% of you who are brand new to planning. So welcome. This is an incredible planning community. We're so happy to have you here. And we have 33% of people who are fairly new to planning. And we have 49% of you who are seasoned planners. And this is not your first rodeo, but welcome to every single one of you, regardless of where you're at in your planner journey. We are so excited to have you here. And I appreciate y'all indulging me in that poll. It's just so cool to see if you're team colorful, team neutral. I'm very much so team neutral, but it was really fun to do that. So thank you guys for doing that. Now let's go ahead and let's dive into the content. So first things first, when you get your life planner, at the beginning of your planner, we have something called the 12 boxes, which is really going to be a great way for you to kind of map out your year. I kind of refer to this page as the year at a glance page, because it will really allow for you to kind of look at your full year and all the things that you want to accomplish. So what are some things that you could fill these 12 boxes with? You could set monthly goals. You could track progress on those goals. You could track important dates for each month, your deadlines, your due dates, favorite moments or memory keeping, bucket list tracking, which is really cool. We actually had someone in one of our workshops recommend that. And I was like, oh, love that idea, adding it into the slide. So bucket list tracking, school holidays during the year. We have curriculum planning and pacing if you're a fellow teacher. Books that you read each month, project planning, budget planning, or you could use it as a monthly reflection just to kind of talk about some things that you had accomplished in that month, or some highs and lows of the month as well. And on the left-hand side, you will actually see one of our EC squad members, Plan with Lore, she uses her 12 boxes in such a cool way. She kind of maps out the different areas of her life. So she's got social, work, physical, spiritual, emotional, and self-care. And she writes out her goals in each of those life areas, which is a really unique and fun way to use the 12 boxes. And then we also have another EC Squad affiliate member, Creator Britt, who uses her 12 boxes in a very unique way. But I love her use of stickers. She uses some dual tip markers, and she actually puts in her 12 boxes some different ideas and things to do during her year. So stuff that she would want to do if she's trying to figure out what to do with friends or with her partner or spouse. Like, these are some fun things that she can do to fill up her year. And I just thought it was such a fun and creative way to use the 12 boxes. And she does use some of our stickers from our wellness sticker pack. And of course, those beautiful dual tip markers up top. So those are just two fun ideas on how you can use those 12 boxes in the beginning of your planner. Now, let's dive into monthly planning. So what are things that we can fill these monthly spreads with? So every planner, regardless of what layout you choose, is going to come with the monthly planning page and that monthly spread right there. So things that we can fill in these monthly boxes are things like birthdays, meetings, important dates, doctor's appointments, school events, bills or budget tracking, holidays or your days off, vacations or trips that you have planned, deadlines or due dates, and of course, project pacing as well, if you're using this as a work planner. So there really are so many different ways that you can use this monthly spread right here. And I'm going to go ahead and actually show y'all my monthly spread. So this is actually my work planner. I use the A5 ring agenda, and I like the daily duo as my work planner. But this is how I use the monthly spread in our new A5 ring agenda. I really am more of a monochromatic planner. So I really like to stick with kind of one color theme and color palette. And I just go from there. So I'm very much team neutral. So you're going to see a lot of neutral things when it comes to my layouts. But I just really like to put in, some of my important calls that I have, things that I have due, deadlines, that kind of stuff. We have our amazing workshops down here. So I kind of use a mixture of some of our fine tip markers, our dual tip markers, and then stickers to kind of call attention to important events that I have going on in the month. So this is my personal monthly spread in my work planner. And next we have Diana, who is one of my team members in Irvine. She is, we've officially coined her as the color coding queen. So Diana is someone who has taught me personally so much about color coding, and she color codes in every aspect of her planner. So in the monthly spread, in her weekly spreads, everything, she color codes it all. So you can kind of see that she has all of her work stuff in blue. She has all of her church things in this kind of peach color. And then she's taking a class as well. So she color codes every area of her life. And I love that she is doing that with stickers. And you'll also see a little bit later how she color codes with our dual tip markers as well. But this is her monthly view. And then we have one of our team members from EC Irvine as well, Carrie. And Carrie is a full-time librarian, and she also works with us part-time. And she also is a mom to one daughter, and she has just a lot in her schedule. But what I love about Carrie is she's a very functional planner. She will throw in some stickers here and there, but she doesn't fill her planner with a lot of fluff. She's like, okay, these are some of the big things that I have going on in the month, and cool, I'm going to write them down. She's not one of those over the top planners, and there's no right or wrong way to do it. You just really have to find what's going to work best for you and your life and the season of life that you're in right now. So this is what works best for Carrie, and she loves using some of our metallic gel pens. Those are her personal favorite, just because I work with her, so I get to see what she uses every day. And she loves those metallic gel pens, and that's what she's kind of showing here, and the layers sticker book as well. And then next, we're going to dive into the monthly planning page. So if you actually have your planner with you, you can totally go ahead and pull that out, and you can kind of flip through these pages with me. So after your monthly spread, so that calendar view, if you turn the page just once, you will see a monthly planning page. And this is actually the page that we find in the retail stores we get the most questions on. So people kind of look at that page and they're like, what do I use this for? How do I use this page? So I hope that this will provide more ideas on how you can use this monthly planning page. So with these 3 boxes, they're almost interchangeable in a way. So you could use any of these ideas in any of these 3 boxes. So you could put in bills for your month, birthdays, events, project due dates, deadlines, test exams, your monthly goals, vacation planning or prep. You could also put your packing list. I actually used mine this month because I'm traveling for work. I used this section right here to put all the stuff that I needed to pack for my trip. So I actually did really use it for that purpose this month. And I got the idea from the workshop. So random. Okay, sorry. Staying on it, but you could also fill this with gratitude, affirmations, memory keeping, and also your highlights of the month. And then down here at the very bottom with that dot grid section, you could use this for things like wellness tracking, monthly trackers, extra notes if you needed just a place to jot down some extra notes each month. Or also you could use this as a little section to kind of reflect on your month and maybe talk about some of your highs and lows or your glows and grows of that specific month. And then we're going to go ahead and dive into some examples of this monthly planning page by showing you some mocked up spreads. So this first one is from Planning My Day, and she loves to use our monthly sticker book. So we have a bunch of stickers from that monthly sticker book. And what's nice about that specific sticker book is that it kind of color coordinates everything for you. So if you're new to incorporating stickers into your planner, I would highly recommend that monthly sticker book. It kind of does, takes all the guesswork out of it and kind of puts everything together for you. So with Planning My Day, she kind of has some important dates right here. So some birthdays, some of her goals for the new year. I love this section right here. It says next month. So she's already kind of planning ahead and looking at, okay, these are some important things that I have coming in the month ahead. So I really liked that, especially with my work planner. I think I might start to do that in my work planner too. And then this is a really cool part down here as well. She puts what she's currently watching and reading and going and doing and planning. And when we were doing the workshop last night, Karen kind of brought up a cool point that if you keep your planners year to year, you can go back to one of your planners from like 5 years back and you can see, okay, what was I currently, or what was I watching 5 years ago? What was I reading? What was I listening to? And it really kind of serves as like a scrapbook and a memory book in a way. So I just really loved that idea. And another monthly planning page idea is from, again, the color coding queen, Diana. I'm going to officially have that be a part of her job title. I might put it on her name tag at work too, color coding queen. But she really does. I wasn't joking, y'all. She really does color code everything. So all of these things you see here, she has a different color for every single aspect of her life and every area of her life. So you can kind of see them all here, and she uses dual tip markers for that. She has some important dates over here. And then I wanted to kind of highlight this bottom section here with the dot grid. She puts her wellness goals and tracks in those little monthly like planner boxes, and she writes in how she's doing working towards those wellness goals. So I just love the way that she uses this monthly planning page. It's such a creative and fun way to use it. And then next, we have our notes pages. So you're going to kind of see as you're starting to use your life planner that there's some notes pages dispersed throughout the entire planner. And there's also some notes pages in the very back as well. But actually right next to your monthly planning page, on the opposite side, you are going to have a notes page there. So here are some ideas of how you could use the notes pages. You could use it, of course, for note taking. You could also put in meeting notes if you have lots of meetings or like work calls. You could also put those in there. Budget planning, tracking your spending, journaling, gratitude, memory keeping, vacation or trip planning, goal setting, books that you have read, gift tracking for birthdays and holidays, and also bucket list tracking as well. And this spread right here is from one of our assistant managers, Kayla, and she is someone who teaches American Sign Language at both the college level and at high school as well. So she's a college professor teaches full-time, and she also has a part-time management job at our store as well. So she is extremely busy, but I love the way that she used her notes page, and she's extremely creative and very talented. I could not draw like this, but kudos to Kayla because she can. And this is kind of what her book tracker looks like. And she colors in the books that she's already read, which is so fun. And then on her monthly planning page, you can kind of see she has some stuff for bills, some important dates. So you really just have to find a planning system and way that works best for you and things that you really want to highlight in your monthly spreads, in your notes pages. You just really have to find what works best for you. And then now I'm actually going to go ahead and pass the baton over to Karen, who will be talking all about the hourly planner and how to use this. So Karen, here you go.
Awesome. Thank you, Michaela. So many great ideas for those 12 boxes, the monthly planning page, your monthly layouts. I know that I've actually incorporated a lot of the things that we went over as I've gone through these workshops because they're things I never even thought about. And I've been somewhat inconsistent in utilizing some of those things. So I really use my monthly layout, but I haven't been as consistent with using my 12 boxes or using the monthly planning page. So I'm super excited to have some ideas about that. So we're going to talk about weekly planning ideas and the hourly because y'all are my people. It's super interesting too, just looking at kind of the interaction and the engagement. I know all of y'all are probably taking notes right now and paying really close attention to all of this. So thank you for that. It's super exciting. So lots of ideas. Any of the things that we've already covered that were in some of the other areas, you can still put in the hourly, weekly planning pages. But some additional ideas would be your to-dos, your appointments, your due dates and deadlines. If you track a routine. So I like to track my water intake because I'm super bad at drinking water. And I also track my activity. I'm not tracking weight or anything like that. I just want to make sure that I'm being active on a daily basis. So I track activity and water usage in my planner. You can track your workouts. You could track meal planning or tracking. You could journal or do gratitude in the planner as well. You can do memory keeping and you can do goals and intentions for the week. I know generally for me, a lot of mine in the month or the weekly layout is much more functional. And then I utilize some of the more decorative and kind of touchy-feely, the self-care, goals and intentions, those kind of things. A lot of that goes in my 12 boxes and goes in my monthly planning page. So let's take a look at some spreads. So this is actually my current planner. So I'm actually planning in one of the softbound LPs. Actually, this might have been not last year. This was 2 years ago planner. And this is kind of how I plan now. It's really, really interesting because I actually used to plan with tons of stickers. And I think what I realized is that, it's a great example there, is that when I was in the office, I was planning with a lot more stickers. And now that I'm at home, I'm planning a lot more functionally with just pen and paper. And I still like to make it a little fun. So that's why I do a rainbow spread. So I use one color for each day. And down at the bottom, you can see where I'm tracking my water and my activity. I am also the type of person where I don't like to cross stuff off in my planner. So instead of using that sidebar, for my to-do list, I actually keep a to-do list separately because I like crossing it off. And actually this one needs to be rewritten. I'm sure a lot of y'all can commiserate with that, where you have to rewrite your to-do list once you've crossed a bunch of stuff off and make it look pretty again. So I really work out of my planner, which really tracks my meetings. It tracks any personal things that I have going on, like if I have a horseback riding lesson or I'm volunteering. And then I utilize my to-do list on a separate piece of paper. So this is kind of my backwards evolution. So this is more of how I planned several years ago. So I really love to use the event stickers, and these event stickers are customizable. So one, you get event stickers in the back of your planner. So this is one of the Flora planners from this year. I'm going to hold this up. And these are the event stickers in the back. So you can utilize those that come in your planner. The ones that are in this book here, those are actually the customizable ones. So I would actually do specific colors so that I could do my rainbow block for each day. And then I'm a type 1 diabetic. And so I actually customized and personalized the stickers to say change pod, because that's something I have to do all the time. So that way I can utilize that on a consistent basis and already have it printed out so I don't have to write it in. And then everything else in there are stickers that I wrote on. Great. So then this is another one of my layouts. So again, a little more sticker heavy, not utilize, it's kind of a combination. So this is one of our customizable sticker sheets. It comes in a size that's a little bit smaller than the 7x9. And it's got the washi strips, which is what you see above the hourly layout. It's got the bigger chunks of design that are below the hourly layout. And then all of the stickers, yep, that's a great example, Michaela, thank you. And then all the stickers down the side, those are smaller blocks. And so depending on the design of sticker that you choose, they could be very much a decorative aspect, or they can be things that you're able to write on and utilize for different parts of blocking. So you can see on the Saturday layout where I utilize that for something special. I can't actually read it. That's because that color is light. But I use that for something special. Is probably something fun. Probably volunteering is what that one was. So my planner style within the hourly has really evolved. But I really also time block. You can see I use the arrows going for a chunk of time. So if I've got something that lasts 3 hours, I use those arrows going down to show that. There are a couple other ways you can do that. You could use washi tape for that. You could use some of the washi strips. You could use some of the stickers, or you could even use a highlighter and kind of box in that section as well. Awesome. And then this is one of Michaela's hourly spreads. So you can see kind of where she used highlighters and the arrows where she puts, okay, if I'm working from 11 to 8:30, then that is written in the 11 o'clock box, and then an arrow through the rest of those boxes to know, okay, I can't necessarily schedule anything else during that time. And then you can see where she has at the bottom, kind of bottom left, heading over to someone's house, and she's got that highlighted in a box. So that's another way that you can time block. And she's done a great job. This is a really pretty layout, but it's also super functional. She's got her to-do list over on the left side. And I would guess that it's either highlighted to look pretty, or it may even be color coded. So she knows what each of those things refer to. And then she also did use one of the Mid-Century Circle's customizable sticker sheets. That's that block on the bottom right of the layout over there. And then I am Claudia Dulce. This is one of her layouts, very, very decorative, but still functional and super, super pretty. So she's used some of the scallops washi tape in there. She's used some of the event stickers. And I believe that looks like the Flower Power sticker book as well, or the Flower Power sticky notes she's got in there. And so she's utilized some of those stickers to time block. She's also used some of the dual tip markers. And then you can also see that she has kind of a quote sticker over there on the right. So I like to do that sometimes too, where if I've got some blank space in my hourly layout, to stick either a quote sticker or something decorative to kind of fill in some of that space. And then she's got some to-dos over on that left side. I also like to put quotes on that left side. If we go back to probably one of my older planners where we used to have a little box in the top corner, I would put quotes there. So you can see I used one of those stickers up there and put a quote in it, which I think is super fun. Nice to have some motivation in the planner. And then this is another really fantastic functional hourly layout. This is LA Plans, another member of our EC squad. So you can see she's kind of blocked her day utilizing just some pen. I would guess it looks like she used a ruler in there as well. And then used a couple of the event stickers to block some things off, and then wrote those appointments in there. So really fantastic, just functional spread. It doesn't have to be overly stickered in order to be functional. And then this is Kayla from EC Irvine. We talked about her before. She teaches the ASL classes. She's got a part-time job. So she is super busy. So I love how she time blocked utilizing the dual tip markers. And then instead of writing it at the top of the block, she's writing that in the middle of the block to block that off. She utilized a couple of the decorative stickers on that weekend to identify some things that are fun to her. And then she's also got some priority lists over on the left so that she can check things off and keep those up to date. And then Margie, who is on our call today, she's actually works in our Austin store. She also has a lot going on. She's a performer. She, I believe, teaches some singing, and then also works with us part-time at Erin Condren. And you can see composer, excuse me. Of course I got that wrong, composer. So she uses the time blocks as well, utilizing the dual tip markers. She's using some of the hexagon stickers in there to identify some things. And then really added in on some of those fun days on the day off, just some of those stickers, because that's a day to just hang out, maybe eat some popsicles and do something fun. And then she's also using some of the habit tracker stickers over on the left of the spread, where she can track some of the habits that she wants to look at on a daily basis. And then Nancy Lee Planning, she obviously uses both stickers and it looks like the highlighters, which is awesome. And I love this monochromatic spread. That's the other thing. It was really interesting when we did our icebreaker questions. There's a lot more people working in the Just My Type, which is a much more neutral planner, and a lot more team neutral than we normally have, which is interesting with the hourly planner. And so this is a very functional, neutral, but still very pretty layout. And so she's also utilizing those highlighters to block out her time. She uses the hexagon stickers to be able to show what those time blocks mean. She's got some washi tape in there. And then she's also got, I believe it's a reading list or a to-do list down there on the left side. And then we talked about, I believe, Carrie from EC Irvine before as well, very functional planner. So she utilizes the dual tip markers, and then her time blocking, you can see that she has for work. She uses kind of a squiggle line, so a little more decorative. And then it has in there one of those quote stickers in the bottom left hand. I believe that is from our Layers sticker book. And then she utilizes that little kind of thought bubble sticker or teardrop sticker if you were to turn it over as a reminder for her workout, which I love. And then I've also seen a lot of people in the bottom part of the hourly planner where there are no hours. So like I said earlier, I utilize mine more for the wellness tracking and the water tracking, but a lot of people will use that. I'm going to get there so you can see a blank one. May use this part right down here for meal tracking is another way that you can utilize that portion of the planner down there. And then Olivia from EC Irvine, I like this, super time blocked, super functional, utilizing one color. She's got it blocked out so she can see her work, what her things she needs to do for school. And it's very easy to read and very legible because it's functional and works for her. And then I am going to pass it back over to Michaela, and she's going to go through some color coding and stickers.
Thank you so much, Karen. And thanks for sharing all of your tips on how to use the hourly spread and the weekly layout there. I personally have tried to use it and I like it, but then when the Daily Duo came out, that's when I made the transition over from hourly to Daily Duo. But I really hope that seeing all of those spreads was helpful for y'all so that you could get some new inspiration, new tips and tricks. And I just really, really appreciate how much Karen has used this layout. So like she sprinkled in a lot of really helpful tips in there. So thank you, Karen. But let's go ahead and let's chat a little bit more about color coding, because this is something that I've learned a lot more about this year. And it's something that I think can be really helpful for those of you who are using your planner for everything going on in your life. So if you're using your planner for work, for personal, for your kids, for your family, for literally everything, and it's your catch-all for all of that stuff, color coding can be a really easy way for you to kind of streamline everything and have it all make sense so that it doesn't get jumbled along the way. So when it comes to color coding, you can use things like stickers, markers, or highlighters. And the way that you can kind of do this is if you're choosing to use your planner for both work and your personal life, you could do all of your work stuff in a blue dual tip marker or with blue stickers or a blue highlighter. And then all of your stuff for your personal life. So maybe if you have like doctor's appointments or things that are going on outside of work, you could do that in yellow. So you could do it with a yellow dual tip marker or a yellow highlighter or a yellow sticker. Also, if you have multiple kids, like my aunt, when I buy her planner for her every year, I buy my mom a planner, my sister a planner, and my aunt a planner. And my aunt has 7 kids. So she uses a different dual tip marker for all 7 of her kids. So each kid like literally gets their own color. And that's the only way that she can keep it all straight, because she uses the hourly planner actually, because she likes to kind of see her whole day hour by hour. And she puts in if like Johnny has soccer here, if Jeremy has something there, she literally color codes it for all her kids, and all her kids' names start with a J. So you can tell that it could get really confusing, but color coding actually really does help her a lot. So color coding could be that little thing that could help you to kind of keep everything straight in your planner. And then next thing that I wanted to talk to you all about is just how to use stickers, how to incorporate them into your planner. This is something that we have noticed on these workshops that we've been doing, that so many people are asking, how do I use stickers? How do I incorporate them? So I would definitely recommend, if you're brand new to using stickers, using the monthly sticker book or themed stickers can be really helpful when you're putting stickers on a monthly spread. Also, you can use stickers to call attention to important events. So for me, in my monthly spreads, I always put like my really important meetings or a big deadline. I'll always use a sticker just so that it really calls attention to that specific day. And you can kind of see that Sherry's Plans also does that same exact thing, where she's got some stickers calling attention to some really important events that she has going on in March. And how else can you use stickers? You can use it to color code. And of course, you can use stickers to just spark joy. So for me, when I was teaching and I used the teacher planner, I was writing in a lot of stuff, and I actually only used pencil and then would sometimes add in like dual tips. But I found that with how overwhelming my weeks used to be teaching, the one thing that always like made me smile or just brought joy to me was just adding stickers into my weekly spread. So I feel like stickers can just be a simple thing of just, it makes you happy. and and it's okay if that's the only reason why you're using them. It really is one of those things, y'all, where this planner is for you. It's for your eyes. It's to help your life. So if stickers make you happy, then use stickers. If they stress you out, you don't have to use them. But another thing that I just wanted to briefly mention when it comes to stickers is that stickers can really allow for you to change the aesthetic of your planner week to week. So for me, I'm very much a very monochromatic planner. So I choose a different color every week, and I just kind of follow that pattern throughout the entire week. So I'll use different shades of purple or different shades of blue and kind of stick with that color theme throughout the entire week in my own personal planner. And also, we have mentioned these stickers a lot, but they really are such a great functional sticker. The event stickers do fit nicely in those monthly boxes and in the weekly spreads as well. And then last but not least, I do have some final planning tips and reminders for you all. And then we will be getting into our live Q&A and can answer all of y'all's questions. But the first tip that I have for you, and just a reminder, is that planning is personal. I want you to know that every person's planner is going to look so different, and what works for me might not work best for you, or what works best for Karen might not work best for you. And that's why you really have to find what works best for you and the season of life that you're in. And you really just need to give yourself grace when it comes to what your planner looks like. It doesn't have to be perfect every single day. It doesn't have to be perfect every week. I really encourage you to find sustainable planning habits. And what I mean by that is I want you to plan in a way that is sustainable for you to do it on a consistent basis. So I don't want you to, spend your hard-earned money on this beautiful planner and just have it sit there and go to waste because it stresses you out to plan. So I want you to really do what works best for you and your planning style so that it becomes a sustainable habit within your routine. And a way that you can kind of build your planning habits is by picking a time every week to map out your following week. So I would encourage you to pick a certain day or a certain time every week to sit down with your planner and kind of map out the following week. So for me personally, Sunday nights, I always put on one of my favorite shows. I'll put on like One Tree Hill, Grey's. I'll just put on one of my like binge-worthy shows, one that I've seen thousands of times before. I'll usually put on one of my favorite shows. I'll have a glass of wine and I will plan out my following week. And it's this therapeutic, relaxing thing for me. And I've just found that if you just do those little things every week for yourself, it just makes your planning process a lot more enjoyable and not as stressful. And it can make sometimes some of those more stressful weeks where you have so much going on feel less daunting if you planned ahead of time. So I would definitely encourage you to do that. And also, I would encourage you to build in blank space for self-care. And what I mean by that is, for myself personally, I find that if my planner is not completely filled, if I don't have 10,000 things to do, I feel like I'm being unproductive. It's definitely the type A overachiever in me. But what I've learned is that there's something really powerful and really beautiful about actually having blank, like white space in your planner. And that can allow for you to build in time for self-care. Things like reading a book or going for a walk, doing a workout, relaxing, watching a new show or a new movie, just building in that time for self-care. That's something that I am actively working on this year. And I would encourage you to also do the same. And don't feel like your planner has to be filled out every single box, every single line. It doesn't have to be filled in every day. So next, I would definitely encourage you to use social media as a resource. There are so many incredible resources out there when it comes to different planning influencers, some of our EC squad members. We have a lot of people in this planning community who have so many great ideas. So going to platforms like YouTube, Instagram, Facebook groups, there's so many resources out there. So if you're looking for even more inspiration with your planner, I would definitely recommend using social media as a resource. And last but not least, my final tip for you is to make sure to have fun. Your planner and planning should not be this daunting, overwhelming, stressful thing. I really hope that you start to enjoy planning in your planner and just trying new things. And if it doesn't look perfect, totally cool. Try a different thing next week. And just, I hope that you start to have more fun with using your planner and finding a sustainable planning practice that works best for you. And now, the super fun part, we're going to go ahead and do a live Q&A. So if you have any questions at all, if you need us to go back to slides because we went through them quickly, we can totally do that. But go ahead and pop any and all questions you have into the chat box down below or on the side, wherever you have it on your screen. Go ahead and pop those questions into the chat. But there was one that I saw in the beginning from Monet that I thought was a great question. And I'm just going to scroll to find it. It is in there somewhere.
She was asking about how do you manage multiple people in a planner? So I believe it was a couple kids, a husband, and an elderly parent, possibly, if I remembered correctly.
Yes. Yeah. And I feel like color coding is what I would definitely recommend. Just kind of having a way to compartmentalize those things within your planner is just like a quick tip that I would think of. But do you have any tips or ideas, Karen?
I think the question also was, is this the best planner layout? I think that's something, honestly, that you have to determine. But I think if you wanted to look at other planner layouts besides the hourly, because it might be a little tough if you've got, your husband and your kids both have something going on at 8 p.m. on a specific day, there isn't as much space. So you could utilize something like the monthly planner, and that way you can really write kind of the big things that need to be taken care of on that monthly layout and then have a notes page for each person. Or you could utilize something like the daily, because there's a lot more room. You would still get that aspect of the hourly on the left side of the daily. And then there's a couple other boxes where you could use those other boxes maybe for kids or husband or elderly parent. And then the vertical might be an option as well, since there are 3 boxes there, plus kind of a little bit of a bottom area. You could have each of those boxes be for a different person. So those are a couple things that may work for someone like that.
For sure. Like I'll go ahead and show you just the vertical layout so you can kind of see that it separates everything out into those 3 boxes. So you could have, you know, like your stuff, your grandparents, your kids, you really can like separate it out box by box. Or like I do mine with work, a daily to-do list, and then like personal stuff like appointments and those kind of things. So
Looks like there's some great suggestions too in the chat. So even using half width box, which is great. And then allow space to overlap times. Those are really great suggestions too.
absolutely.
And then I see a question in the Q&A. The planner without the coil are our softbound planners. So those generally come out when we release our 12-month calendars in kind of late September, early October. So definitely keep an eye on social media or on your newsletters. And that's when we'll announce that when those are coming out.
Absolutely.
One of the things that I wanted to mention too, I know for me, my brain, I don't feel like I'm a super creative person. And I think part of that is why I use the Hourly, because it to me is the most structured planner that we have out of all of the Life Planner layouts. And so one of the things for me is how do I make this, because I do want it to be pretty, because I have my planner stack. I want to go back and look at them. I want them to be pretty, but I'm not always super creative in coming up with those ideas. One of the things that I think works really well is the monthly sticker book. So all of the stickers in this layout are from the monthly sticker book. And that monthly sticker book, I don't recall if you talked about that earlier or not. They're all kind of in the same theme, both color-wise and the theme of the stickers. And so that really helped me when I was like, I don't know how to make this pretty. Those monthly sticker books are super helpful, along with those customizable sticker sheets, because then you kind of have a themed layout there, and then you can add in, you know, whatever color markers or pens that you want to do. So that's a really good suggestion, especially if people are challenged with trying to find some of those things to make it a little more pretty in your planner, because the Hourly is the most structured functional planner I think that we have.
For sure. And like some of my favorite stickers personally, I love using the customizable stickers. So I'm a big Star Wars geek. So I bought all of the Star Wars sticker sheets, but these are the ones that I showed in a lot of our spreads. And also Karen used quite a few of these different sheets, and you can get it to match your planner cover. So if you chose a certain planner cover, like, I love that one with is that cherry blossoms?
Yeah, cherry blossom.
Pretty.
And so I used like a gray and mustard type theme for that one.
Love that. Yeah, it kind of helps to like theme your planner out for you. So if you like to change up your look or the feel every week, these sticker sheets really allow for you to like completely change the whole look of your planner just with one sticker sheet. And let's see. The monthly sticker book. So we do usually launch a like monthly sticker book every year. Not sure when the newest one's going to be coming out, but it should be coming out sometime this year for sure.
I think that one comes out at 12-month calendar launch. So late September, early October. I almost said early August. Late September, early October. What other questions do we have out there? I think something that Michaela talked about earlier is the blank space. I think because this is such a functional planner, you can utilize, so one of the things that I heard someone mention one time is they actually go back in and add stickers after the fact. So maybe you do your weekly layout and you put all of those things in there that are the functional piece. You put your appointments, you put your meetings, you put all of that stuff, your tracking for your meals and things like that. But then once you get to the end of the week, going back and saying, oh my gosh, my Sunday is completely blank, I could go put some stickers in there. I could go maybe do some memory keeping in there and say, oh, this was, you know, Michaela likes to do glows and grows. This was the top part of my week, and here was the thing that I want to work on next week. So I think utilizing some of that blank space, especially in a very structured planner like this, I wouldn't necessarily think about that until I saw other people do it. And I really love the idea because this is a memory keeper. This is something that I've kept. I like to go back and look at it. One of my favorite layouts, and I still need to find it. I can't find it. I was looking for it, was when we got our first permit for the Austin store. And I have this big, huge thing that says we got the permit because we've been waiting for it for so long to be able to build. And going back and looking at that's really cool.
I love
And I
that.
do see a question from Brenda. How do you handle falling off and getting re-inspired? Michaela, do you want to talk about that?
Oof. That is something that I think is naturally going to happen within your planning journey. And I think it's just going to depend on what season of life you're in. And just know that it's okay if there's some weeks in your planner that are completely blank. What's kind of interesting is what I've noticed is if I have a few weeks that are really busy when it comes to work in my personal life, I actually plan the least, if that makes sense. As weird as that's going to sound, like there's certain weeks where I'm like, I literally don't have time to even like sit and like drink my coffee or plan, just there's certain weeks like that, and it's okay. It's okay if there's some unused weeks, but something that I think is just really important is just being intentional about planning that time out every week to sit down and use your planner. And if you're looking for new ideas or new inspiration, I would definitely recommend treating yourself to like one sticker sheet or just like one little thing that like gets you excited and like and reinvigorated, so you don't have to go crazy and buy the whole website or buy the whole store, but getting just one little thing to like spark that creativity might help to give you that boost to kind of dive back into your planner. So I hope that that was helpful-ish.
Margie, I love that. So going back and decorating some of the pages that were neglected or letting your kids color in them or memory keeping, I think that's such a great idea.
Love that. Absolutely love that.
And then also Anna works in our Fairfax store in Mosaic District. She said once she gets back on track, she goes back and writes what was going on and give myself grace. It happens to everyone for sure. You're not alone. And I would 100% agree with that. And I also agree with Michaela. I also find that when I actually travel for work, that's when I use my planner the least because I'm busy, because I'm doing all of my normal things that I do for my job and I'm in a store or doing, whatever else it is that I'm traveling for.
For sure. For sure. And then Valerie had kind of asked, like she uses elastic bands and paper clips to go to like a current page in her planner. So what are some ways that you can make sure to use every kind of page in your planner? So for me personally, every planner all the life planners come with that long bookmark. So for me, I use this long bookmark right here, that clear one. I put that on my monthly spread. So I kind of like to flip directly to that if I want to see my month. And then for my weekly, I like to use this little snap-in bookmark. This is the one from the Just My Type Neutral. It says today. This is my personal favorite little mini bookmark to put in my weekly spreads. Luckily, these ones come in a 3-pack. So if you wanted to put one in like a notes page or one on the monthly planning page or one in the notes section in the back, you could use the 3 little snap-in bookmarks in 3 different spots in your planner. If you want to use it on like the 12 boxes, it could remind you to go back to those pages.
Yep. I saw another question. If you're a 12-month planner, how do you get yourself recommitted to your planner when the 18-month planner launch happens? I have a couple answers for that. One, you don't, because it's FOMO and you're missing out. You're not missing out. It's totally okay. 2, one of the things that we offer, and it's the calendar that I use the academic calendar, which is the June through July calendar, or July through June, excuse me, starts in July, ends in June. So that way, instead of getting that 18-month book, and then when our new planners come out in May, you're like, oh, I have 6 more months left in my book. Switch over to that academic planner year. So maybe you might have overlap of 1 year, but if you get that 12-month academic calendar that goes July through June, then you can always get the new planner when the old one runs out. So you have a couple options with that. The other one is maybe give yourself a little reward for using that 18-month planner. Like, okay, I'm getting this 18-month planner. I'm going to use it. And if I use the whole thing and don't buy another planner, like what's going to be my reward for that? There's a couple things you can do, but it's definitely FOMO. When I see the new planners go out, like, oh, which one am I going to use?
Yeah, like I buy mine every year in like planner launch, which is May. So I have my planner July to June every year just because I have to have like the new layout because I get too excited about it. So I'm kind of on that planner buying track of like buying every May for July. So that's what I personally do. But
awesome. Any other questions that we can answer?
I think we got them all.
Awesome.
Awesome.
So I don't remember if we mentioned this or not. Keep an eye out. We'll be sending y'all an email after the workshop, probably not today, but in the next couple days or early next week. And we'll put some of the product links in there. We're going to put a survey in there because we'd love to hear your feedback. And then there, I believe, is also a coupon code in there for y'all for attending. So we really appreciate everyone being here. I did see one more question. Is the planner launch in July the same designs as in December? So yes. So we do actually in May launch all 3 calendar options. So there's the academic calendar, July through June. There's the 18-month that starts July and goes to the following December. And then there is the January through December. When we say 12-month calendar launch, that's usually when we have our softbound planners come out. And then if there are any refreshes or anything we want to do in the current layouts or offerings, that's what happens when we do the 12-month planner launch at the end of the year. But generally the designs are the same. So you'll still see just my type neutral and colorful. You'll see Flora and you'll see MCC in December as well.
Great question. And then we had Michelle ask one more question. When will the next workshop be? We will be posting those mostly to our social. Also, it is, if you scroll down on our website to the very bottom, it's under store events. We will be posting all of our future workshops there. So if you ever want to know about future free workshops we have coming up, they will always be under the store events section on our website. So if you scroll down to the bottom, store events, all of our future workshops will all be there. And we will be posting all of these Life Planner workshop recordings to one of our social media platforms coming a little bit later this year.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you all so much. Thanks for joining us tonight. Have a good one, everyone.
Bye.